Alright, so we are on the last day of CinemaCon, but I have a whole bunch of other stuff from yesterday to cover that I did not cover. Um, it's, I had to go to sleep pretty early because of my job, but also because of the fact that there was a huge storm with potential for hail and tornadoes. Thankfully, nothing happened here. We're all good. We're all safe. We're all peachy. But was not able to record anything else because one, had to go to sleep, and two, there were storms out. So the threat of losing power was also very real as well. But today, let us talk about everything that Universal dropped at CinemaCon. Of course, they also screened the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie, and I saw some of the reactions from that screening, and everyone thought it was really good and really captured the essence of the original animated film. John Campia put up his quick reaction uh, to the movie, and he also said it was really good, even though the first 10 to 15 minutes didn't really sell him. Um, but he eventually was won over by it. And also, during their panel at CinemaCon, Universal announced that the second movie will also be getting a live action adaptation. How to Train Your Dragon 2 will be coming out on July 11th, or not July 11th, June 11th, 2027. So, let's get into the stuff that they showed. Obviously, Wicked for Good coming out in November later this year. The second part of Wicked's movie adaptation. Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, John M. Chu, and Mark Platt showed attendees a trailer for Wicked for Good. Trailer begins with Cynthia's Elphaba confronting Ariana's Galinda on the balcony of her new home in the Emerald City before cutting to the retro Universal Studios logo. Cynthia's take on No Good Deed blasts as we were shown Elphaba's start to a revolution in the land of Oz. She writes, "The wizard lies in the sky" as she flies on her broom, and the wizard threatens Elphaba. The trailer then transitions to Ariana and Cynthia singing New Take on For Good. There are brief flashes of Glinda's wedding, walking the floor covered in flying lights, mirroring John M. Chu's shot from Crazy Rich Asians. Never see her face, but we do get glimpses of Dorothy and the other companions on the Yellow Brick Road, as well as talking to the wizard. In a key moment, Jonathan Bailey's Fiero points his gun at Ozian soldiers and hands Elphaba her broom. The chorus for Good ramps up as Elphaba and Glinda hold hands, talk about their friendship in a big climactic sequence. Elphaba confronts the wizard in his chamber with her broom before a final shot of her zooming away from the flying monkeys cuts to the Wicked for Good title card. Um, yeah, I'm going to make a bet. Like, Wicked was nominated for a whole lot of Oscars this year. Won a couple of them. Um, I'm going to say they could potentially take home some more this for this year, um, or should I say next year's Oscars? Because I have a feeling like this was probably the more emotionally weighted of the two parts of the musical. Um, so my assumption is that there's going to be a lot of people who have seen the musical over and over and over again that are going to cry when they see For Good happen on screen. Um, and that might propel them to a lot of Oscar nominations and maybe some Oscar wins. Who knows? But I am very excited for Wicked Part 2 or Wicked for good. Jurassic World Rebirth, obviously, that'll be coming out in July. Again, the start to a very, very big July for movies. Universal treated CinemaCon to a live orchestra playing of the Jurassic Park theme as Gareth Edwards, Mahershala Ali, and Scarlett Johansson introduced an exclusive reel from the newest entry, Jurassic World Rebirth. Footage opens on Scarlett Johansson's character, Zoe Bennett, in a foggy and sterile lab shrouded in red lighting. From the alarms ringing in the background, a giant mutant dinosaur attacks a man she is talking to behind a wall of glass as she begs for her to open the door. So this is the one shot that we have in the first trailer with the what many people are calling the D-Rex approaching a guy from behind with another person behind, or I should say in front of that person who's behind a glass containment. So probably expounding more on that in this footage. We are then introduced to the film's core cast: Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Henry Loomis, Rupert Friend as Martin Krebs, and Mahershala Ali as Dr. Kincaid, who I believe his first name is Duncan, probably. Dr. Duncan Kincaid. There we go. Also, I just find it hysterical that Jonathan Bailey's character is Loomis when a different Loomis is in a different franchise altogether. And Henry Loomis. Is it the same name as... Let me take a look here. It's Samuel Loomis. I was like, did they name Jonathan Bailey's character the exact same as Dr. Loomis from Halloween? No, it's completely different. They are debriefed to go on a mission to collect DNA from an experimental dinosaur breeding zone, but it won't be easy. The footage flexes plenty of interesting and colorful set pieces, such as our core crew on a T-Rex chase going down a whitewater raft, a Quetzalcoatlus, sorry about my pronunciation, attacking our heroes as they collect eggs in a mysterious temple, and a thrilling Mosasaurus attack in the middle of the ocean. One of the most exciting images was a tease at some experimental hybrid dinosaurs, and even a cute little Aquilopes dino that travels in the backpack of one of our new young leads. Final money shot of the trailer is a gigantic, never-before-seen dinosaur monster mutation. Jurassic World Rebirth trailer promises to bring back the fear and adrenaline that brings moviegoers back to the franchise time and time again, and director Gareth Edwards' eye for spectacle seems to be in full force. Having Gareth Edwards write this, because his last film that he did, The Creator, was really, really good and really flew under people's radar on just how good it was and how low budget it was as well. You watch that and you think, this is $90 to $100 million. No, it's not. The budget was not that. So, if he takes that kind of approach with this, with obviously spectacle, but also adding in those horror elements, I think he'll have a hit on his hands. And also having David Koepp as the screenwriter for this. Koepp has had 2 movies this year that have really hit it home with me. Presence and Black Bag, both of them being directed by Steven Soderbergh. So I'm very excited to see what he does when he steps his toe back into the realm of Jurassic Park. Directed by Justin Tipping and produced by Jordan Peele. Universal brought an exciting first look to him to CinemaCon. The teaser opens on a young football player played by Tyreek Withers going through an intense training montage, pushing himself to his limits. Withers' character then becomes mentored by the by a legendary retired quarterback played by Marlon Wayans, whose intense speech echoes throughout the entirety of the footage. The teaser quickly dips into the surreal as Jordan Peele's producer credit appears, switching the film's color scheme into X-ray vision as Withers' character collides headfirst into another player. Wayans questions if his apprentice wants it enough as we are shown Withers being followed by a demonic, rammed mascot. There is a recurring shot of Wayans yelling at Withers face to face into his helmet. There's flashes of injections, cultists, and it ends on a shot of Withers on a dark field, the football field covered in mysterious occult symbols. Interesting. So, I don't know because um, um, Dead Meat shot a proof of concept footage for a movie called Pregame, in which two rival teams take things to the extreme, and they end up like killing each other, and then they all come back as like zombies. I don't think this is the exact same premise as that, but I just find it funny that you know a football player, you know, going through stuff apparently makes a potential deal with the devil and now has this demon following him around in a ram mascot costume and um, all sorts of weird stuff going on as per a Jordan Peele movie. But I'm very interested to see what happens in this. Marlon Wayans, Julia Fox, excuse me, Tim Heidecker, Tyreek Withers, Indira G. Wilson, Jim Jeffries, uh, Wap Dad 4000, and Tyra Whack are listed in the cast, and this comes out in September of this year, so I'm looking forward to it. I am not going to talk about Megan 2.0 because while I was at work today, I noticed that they dropped a trailer. So, we're actually going to react to that trailer here in a little bit. So, I'm not gonna talk about what happens in the footage that they showed at CinemaCon because it could be in the trailer. So we're gonna skip over Megan 2.0 for now because I saw that they had released a trailer. Bad Guys 2 coming out August 1st of this year. New trailer for Bad Guys 2. Trailer starts off similarly to the previously released trailer with the bad guys attempting to live life as good guys, with Sam Rock's Wolf character attempting to work at a bank he used to rob. That's when the characters meet the Bad Girls, a more sinister all-female team led by a snow leopard-like antagonist. The Bad Girls are planning to do a heist involving a space shuttle. Mr. Wolf agrees to work with them, but with an ulterior motive, sabotaging them and turning them in. From there, the trailer goes through a series of gags and visual dynamic action sequences. Best of it involves Mr. Shark, which was Craig Robinson, throwing a kidnapped Italian man in the back of his trunk and dressed as him. Promises to play his role as respectfully as possible, only to do so with an extremely stereotypical Italian accent, which was also shown in the trailer that they released. Mr. Snake, Mark Maron, seems to have gained the ability to harden his abs. The footage closes off with a stunning looking action sequence where the bad guys in a helicopter try to stop a rocket ship from exiting the atmosphere. The trailer looks to have everything fans of the first film enjoyed and more. So I did not see the first Bad Guys film, um, mainly because I felt like I was too old for it, and I don't know if I plan on seeing this, but it sounds like it's going to be, pretty good. I've seen the trailer a couple times, and it looks, pretty funny. Um, Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, uh, Craig Robinson, Anthony Ramos, Aquafina, uh, Zazie Xavier Beats. I don't know if that's Zazie Beats spelled wrong. I don't know. Um, Richard Ayoda, Richard Ayoade. Sorry again with name pronunciation. Lily Singh and Alex Borston. Pretty good, solid cast in this, and I don't know. I may go see it. We'll see. Um, Nobody 2, directed by Timo Tajjanto. I've actually heard his name before because I believe he has directed some VHS segments for a couple of VHS movies. And I think his segments were actually some of the better ones in their respective movies. So, this ought to be pretty good. Of course, produced by David Leitch. So, this is going to be an 87 North type of production. Um, Trailer starts off with Bob Odenkirk's main character, Hutch, at a work convention where he's being eyed by mysterious men in an elevator. Eventually, this turns into an intimate elevator fight. Intercut with this is his wife and kids complaining that he's not spending enough time with them. Thus, they go on vacation, complete with Lindsey Buckingham's Holiday Road playing in a remixed version, and Christopher Lloyd in tow. I didn't know Christopher Lloyd. Oh, it says though in the main cast. Along with, of course, Bob Odenkirk returning from the first film, Connie Nelson, Sharon Stone, and Colleen Hanks. Um, at a carnival on their vacation, Odenkirk's daughter is slapped in the back of the head by a carnival employee. Of course, Hutch takes matters into his own hands and gives the employees a beatdown. Intercut with Hutch and his son in a prison cell. The trailer then reveals the main plot. A drug ring ran by a character played by Sharon Stone and enabled by a cop played by Colin Hanks. The trailer ends on a quick succession of brutal, funny action in various environments, capping with a speedboat fight where somebody in a rubber ducky mask gets punched in the face. The film looks like more of a comedic extension of the first film's action comedy hybrid. Nobody came out, what, I think 2021 in the middle of the pandemic. That was one of the films that I was not able to see. Um, but from what I heard from people, it was actually pretty good. Um, so I don't know. This is another one that I may check out. May have to watch the first one to maybe see if I really want to check out this one. But it sounds like it's got a good concept. Cast sounds pretty good. 87 North has a pretty good reputation when it comes to, these types of movies, these kind of stunt movies. So, you know, I wish them nothing but the best on this. Um, Not saying that I don't intend on seeing it. I'll just have to, you know, see if I really want to see it. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Alright, so this one I'm going to have to hold off on because last night I did watch the teaser that dropped. So I'm not going to give you a trailer reaction for that. Instead, I'm going to give you a trailer breakdown for the teaser that dropped and give you guys some of my ideas as to what the plot for this movie is. But it's so cool to see, everybody coming back. Scott is a man that, takes his criticisms on the chin, and he always comes back with something even better than before. When many people said that the first game was too easy, he then gave us FNAF 2, which is probably the hardest game in the whole franchise. And then when people said this is way too hard, he gave us FNAF 3, which is like a perfect blend of the two. So I'm very much excited, looking forward to this. And it's only going to be in theaters. First film, I should say, was theaters and on Peacock. No, it is just in theaters now, which is awesome. Black Phone 2. Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill's movie. Of course, seeing Ethan Hawke, Mason Thames, Jeremy Davies, Madeline McGraw, Ariana Rivas in the cast. Of course, Ethan Hawke, Mason Thames, and Madeline McGraw returning from the first one. The exclusive reel starts with a bleak vibe with a slow version of Alice in Chains' The Rooster playing. A child is being chased through the snow and looks like grainy lo-fi footage. It probably is grainy footage because they probably shot that on 18, not 18, 8 or 16 millimeter film, if I had to guess, because that's what Scott loves to do. He did that with his segment in one of the VHS films. He did it with the death tapes in Sinister. So just love shooting on old school film. As the child's terrified face flashes on the screen, it lingers even through the next image. Finney, of course, Mason Thames, who is also going to be playing Hiccup in the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie, appears to be living a sullen life as his sister Gwen, of course Madeline McGraw, is having strange visions. The repeated images of an out-of-order black phone and Gwen at a summer camp build to reveal as the black phone rings. The grabber, of course Ethan Hawke, is hanging around in the afterlife, out to make their life a living hell. The rest of the footage is pure nightmare fuel. Fuel. I cannot talk today. There is a striking image of the grabber ice skating towards the camera in slow motion. It appears that the grabber has a special connection with Gwen, managing to somehow get a hold of her from spinning her around in rapid succession as Finney appears to see that image in a phone booth. Without a doubt, it looks even more terrifying than the first film, given its strong supernatural elements. Interesting. So, the grabber has been basically he is Agatha in like Agatha All Along, or I don't know if this would be considered spoilery, but Cassidy inside of the golden Fredbear suit, not allowing Afton to die in the FNAF sphere. In what game was it? Ultimate Custom Night, where that cutscene happens, maybe. Um, Interesting that because Gwen did see the grabber in her visions in the first film. So it makes sense that they kind of have that like link, but I'll be very interested to see how they explore that in the film. The first one was really really good. It was also nice to see Ethan Hawke play villains like this, and what he did in Moon Knight as Arthur Harrow was awesome, and I can't wait to see him again in this. And I think this will be a pretty fun time. Soulmate, the spin-off for Megan. So, Soulmate got its first footage. Megan spin-off of sorts shows a man played by David Risdell in the throes of an exciting tryst with a woman played by Lily Sullivan. Sullivan's character is very over-the-top seductive with energetic pop music and quick editing, creating a fun atmosphere. That is until her own soulmate falls for a woman played by Claudia Dumit. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce her name. Then the reveal comes. Lily Sullivan's character is a robotic sexual companion, and she's not taking no for an answer. The trailer sees Sullivan go full Terminator mode, often interweaving high femininity with menace in a way that looks like good schlocky fun. The footage shows in a lot gorier, or the footage shown is a lot gorier than anything seen from Megan, and with it being an adult robot this time around, the film looks to be taking a wild swing at sex and relationships. Trailer ends with Sullivan dunking Claudia Domit's head into a toilet bowl as Domit begs her, saying they shouldn't be pitted against each other. Lily Sullivan retorts, "That girl power shit doesn't work on me." So, it seems like, and I know Companion came out like a little while ago, but it seems to be kind of the same thing as Companion, just with like a little tweaks, um, with the sex robot like with somebody, then going to somebody else, and then although this one seems more intent on like killing people than what Iris did in Companion, so kind of a difference there. But I'll be interested to see how this one differentiates itself from Companion, and I'm very interested to see what happens in this movie. The Phoenician Scheme, Wes Anderson's new film, with of course an absolutely top tier cast: Benicio del Toro, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Bill Murray, Bryan Cranston, Benedict Cumberbatch, Richard Ayoade. Again, sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Jeffrey Wright and Riz Ahmed. Film primarily follows Benicio del Toro as Zazia Corda. I hope I said his name right. A rich aristocrat, and Mia Thre- Thre- Threppleton. Sorry for name pronunciation. Playing his nun daughter, sister Leslie, Liesel. After narrowly escaping a plane crash alive, Corda decides to bestow his entire estate to his daughter before chaos ensues. As expected from Wes Anderson, the trailer oozed with charisma and had all the Anderson trademarks, from the visual gags, monotone line delivery, and even the 1:33 to 1 aspect ratio. Anderson co-wrote The Phoenician Scheme with Roman Coppola, and the film is full of the auteur's regular talent, troupe of A-list actors, and the film opens up on May 30th. It's another film that I have to see on May 30th. But I'm not going to be mad about that. Um, After watching the Grand Budapest Hotel for my film class in college, I've really wanted to actually check out more of Wes Anderson's work, because I just find him to be a uniquely succinct and um, individualized filmmaker. Like, you see his style and you're immediately like, that's a Wes Anderson film, and I just find that very, very fascinating. So, come hell or high water, I'm going to see this. And his last film that he came out with, Asteroid City, that was such a fun movie, and I wish more people went and saw it. But it was so good. Uh, Begonia, is that how you say it? Maybe. Yorgos Lanthimos' next movie, um, with Ari Aster producing. Also, this ought to be fun. um, which stars Jesse Plemons as a beekeeper, talking about the function of each specific bee, with an undercurrent of animosity. When he says "Queen," images of Emma Stone as the leader of their operation, a well-dressed, rich-looking woman, flash by. The trailer ends on her suddenly collapsing, only to get her head shaved as she's unconscious and covered in white paint, seemingly watched by Jesse Plemons' character. So, I did see Poor Things, but I did not see Kinds of Kindness, which was Lanthimos' next movie after that. And I heard mixed things about Kinds of Kindness, but I haven't seen it myself to make that uh, judgment call. But I'm very much interested in this, especially considering the fact that Ari Aster is producing. So you know this is going to be a real fun time, a real weird and a real fun time watching this movie. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this in November. November is also a really big time for movies. Lots of art house ish movies coming out in November, just from how I'm reading it. But yes, there we go. That is all of the stuff that Universal announced at their CinemaCon panel. Um, I've just got a lot of stuff to record, and I'm gonna cap it off right there. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.